ball gets cycled out. And then, so we get into set pieces here. So the way I did set pieces, again, obviously highlighting set pieces. Key points, again, as I mentioned, they do have a long throw. It was actually from the backup, so there was no clips of the long throws. My coach and I discussed prior, the backup was actually injured going into this game, so I didn't believe it was necessary to emphasize they had a long throw. But in the key points, I did leave that in there. So I mentioned there, attacking set pieces very much about just creating a zone of space for the players. So just a key point to emphasize for my teammates of thinking if they're creating a space or there's massive space they've left vacated, probably looking to play the ball in the box. There's a brief description of how they defend, 3 zones, and then just a brief kind of point of they don't do a great job attacking and defending runners on set pieces, kind of giving my teammates a little bit of a picture. So this was a clip from their goal. This was a free kick here. They clip it in. Something I really emphasized was they have really good service in wide areas. That was the left-footed service, great ball. But again, ends up kind of at the far post. They're not doing anything special here, but as a goal, I was really emphasizing the service aspect of this. Let's try to limit as many set pieces we give up in dangerous positions because they have very good balls. They have multiple players, really good ball striking and really good ball service. So this clip here was a corner kick. They had multiple little corner kick plays. I talked about creating space to vacate. Ball plays player on the near post here, which I emphasize right here, checks the ball, receives the ball, but he creates a massive space in the near post. And as you can see by all the positioning of the runners in the far post, they're all positioned at the far post. That creates space in the near post to play the ball into. And that runner checking too creates even more space because there's only one player in the post. So I emphasize, obviously, we defended in zone, so it's less of a problem. But I was emphasizing of they're always looking to find space. So as you can see, when this ball is played in here, so I circle it, there's space just to identify where the ball will be played into. Play the ball in. It's not the greatest delivery, so the keepers actually come to claim it, but you can see they have multiple players attacking that post here. So again, a little bit of a different setup here. There's another set piece play. They have one player at the near post, but they don't really have as many players deep. All the players are in the middle of the box. And you'll be able to see here the 2 runners actually break a little bit early here, right there. So they all both break off a little bit earlier, which leaves this whole far post space vacated. And they had this set up very well here in a pick setup, as I highlight here, of the player at the far post. They're stacked, so it creates an opportunity for them to pick, and it's a simple service here to the far post because they have that setup. Again, they created space to vacate. That should have been a goal, but you can see again they're creating space for a runner to come into. So short corner kick play here, but you can see by their positioning. Again, they're all kind of stacked towards the near post, and they're looking just kind of float a ball in, which they do here, to the far post because that's where the space has been vacated. There's also a runner here, which I think did highlight when I was highlighting this to my team, but the angle because the defender wasn't there. So they just clipped this ball into the far post. But again, the space is vacated, ball goes over the head. You have an idea here. This was a pretty straightforward delivery here. I was just highlighting as if the opposition, so hopefully for us, was in a good setup, there was no space to be left vacated, what their runs would look like here. So again, they have this stack setup. Somebody's attacking each of the different zones, near post, far post, middle of the goal, just to highlight that they do have straightforward setups. Balls played into the near post there, but just kind of highlighting the different runs they will have into the box. Defending set pieces, that was the next portion of this. This was a big part of my team's identity, is we were very good attacking set pieces. This I did want to highlight because I thought it was important. It was also the same setup, multiple matches I watched. So the number setup doesn't really matter here. I was just kind of showcasing where the different spots are. So they have a player in the near post. I highlight their front post guy. They have 3 across the zone. Everybody else is pretty much a man-to-man. I left number 7 there because in the multiple matches I watched, the opposition at least had a player kind of in line with the front post, but deeper. So I thought that was man-to-man, but it's just kind of showcasing different setups. Very few teams had all 5 at the far post. They did leave a guy at the top of the box, but they pretty much bring all 11 back to defend set pieces, and that's what I found in multiple matches here. So this was just a clip, again, identifying it. So you can see there, this guy's left unmarked kind of with that space. They have the 3 across the zone, 1 guy at the near post, 1 guy on top. Everybody else is in kind of man-to-man setup. So again, but this player at the near post is obviously looking for runners, and it's clearly an instruction to come back, but he's looking for runners. Again, same setup here from them. They have this player here that's kind of in a deeper lying position at the near post, but everybody else is back. They're all kind of stacked. Obviously, the service is coming in on the goalie here. You can kind of identify, again, there's 3 guys across the zone. And actually, what's interesting here is the player that would be on the top of the box in this scenario is actually in the box because they brought so many players in the box here. What I really also highlighted here was they sent one guy short here. You notice the guy in the front post is kind of marking nobody, doesn't come to the ball. So I thought it might be interesting. Maybe we play a short corner or something to see how they react. Ball's obviously played in the box, doesn't matter. I think this gets cycled out to a goal. One final setup here, just another clip from the same side. You can see it's almost the same exact setup, a little bit of different setup from the opposition, but you can see here that, again, they're man-to-man. There's a couple players up top of the six. So they're in a man-to-man setup, but it is, again, same setup, just from the same side. So ball gets played deep. I think they clear it out here. And there was no clips of a long throw. We also didn't have a long throw, so I thought it wasn't necessarily emphasize it. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in to this tactical analysis segment. I hope this helped in kind of breaking down how I do these tactical analysis segments and just opposition analysis for my team against each opponent, and also adding a little bit about our principles so it makes a little more sense. So thank you.